turn to Deputy Greg Wargo, who's sitting right next to me, kind of tethered because this is on his belt. Greg, we're very fortunate to have the only deputy assigned to a mental health provider, and he's very good at what he does. He has a lot of mental health experience. We actually tried to recruit him, and I don't think he really had a choice of joining Crisis because our team wouldn't let him choose anything else but our team. But he's been working with Crisis for about 4 years? Almost 5 years he's been with our Crisis team. So he's with us 40 hours a week during the day. He kind of is our deputy. He protects us a lot. He makes sure that we are safe when we go out to a community. So one of the things we kept hearing with training for you is that for those that are office-based and community-based, that you wanted some self-defense techniques. You wanted how to stay safe in your environment. So Greg is actually here to provide that information to you. So also, please make sure that this might be a very interactive training. You might be getting up at some point in the training, depending on what Mr. Greg has for you. But I'm going to turn it over to Greg Wargo.
Well, thank you. Never been clapped for before, so that's right. A couple things. First of all, Cassandra, a couple things to point out, that money that was laying there, that's a little short of what I normally charge for a public speaking engagement. And then the other comment I want to make is, I think this is the outline of Marcus when he beat me at all right, well, usually when I talk at these things, I have a lot more time, but I guess Cassandra thinks your lives aren't as important as I do. So she cut me down to an hour. So I just kind of put something together for you. Normally what I do is I give a whole office safety presentation stuff, but I guess for your CARF regulations, we need more of a self-defense type thing. So I just put something together, and it's a Bob. Bob, if we start the PowerPoint. Okay.
Keep talking.
All right, Bob.
Earn your money,
Well, you know, I got a few icebreakers there. I mean, this.
Roll one.
Can you not find it? Is that it? Can you not find it? Whoa, whoa. Feel like I'm on Price is Right. I know well, let me do this. For those of you that are brand new and never met me before, my name is Deputy Greg Wargo. Greg, to all of you, that's used to saying Deputy Greg Wargo. Butler County Sheriff's Office. I have been here, it'll be 5 years in April, and I've been with the team. I love my job. I love my job here. As far as I know, barring any promotions, which haven't happened yet or anything, I plan on probably retiring from here. I did have 4 years, but my retirement system added 3 more, so I got basically 2021. Plan on beating it. Can't beat it. And barring the girls driving me absolutely bonkers, I will probably stay here. Alright, a few things here I want to start. Start my presentation on self-defense and social workers' guide to staying alive. It's a brief thing. If you go to the next slide, please. Now, being around all these social workers all the time, you know, I learn a lot. And thanks to Adelicia, I now hear stuff in 2 languages. You know, so I saw these little clips, and I thought you guys might like it if you want to click on them. Should start. No. No. If you click on the box, it won't start. All right, go to the next slide. Phyllis. that was a comedian. She talks about how she's a social worker and how she hates people. I was like, boy, that sounds familiar. That's good. Can we go to the next slide?
It's not working, dude.
Go figure.
Oh, what's that? There it is.
All right, should have brought my computer. Okay. Anyways, we'll just wing it here. What I'd like to talk about is responsibilities as a police officer or a deputy and as a social worker. The differences for self-defense. Okay. As a police officer, my goals of self-defense are obviously different than yours. My goals are three things. I need to control a subject, all right, so subject control, all right. I need to protect life, all right, my life especially, and your life. And I need to maintain justice. Different ways I do that, okay, by controlling a subject, all right. I am a subject control instructor. I do teach in our basic police academies. I've taught in private security academies. I taught all over the place. But my main thing is, your goal is not to maim, okay? I don't want to maim anybody. My goal is not to, my goal is to control somebody with the minimal force as possible. And let me give you an example. Alicia saw this firsthand, okay? All the girls that saw this firsthand. This was at Alicia's first. On Monday, yeah. This is past Monday. We went out on a 19-year-old Hispanic, schizophrenic, right? Yeah, schizophrenic. Hadn't been off his meds for about 4 months, all right? He was hurting pretty good, all right? Yet he had this thing about him where he knew what was going on, but yet he was at that point where he was totally couldn't take care of himself. Stunk, you know, just the typical schizophrenic that's been off his meds for 4 months. Besides the point, we had to go into this house where there's gnats flying all around, and it was on the right close to the office over on
We'll say where. We'll just talk about it.
yeah. Oh yeah. It was in Hamilton. I won't give an address. Anyways, it was in Hamilton. All right. I guess apparently the kid was going to come down and talk to us until he heard me talking. He didn't believe his brother that the sheriff was down there until he heard me. He ran back upstairs, got under the covers in this room that wasn't any bigger than this table, act like he was sleeping. So Alicia and I go up this narrow staircase, and we're in this tiny room trying to talk to him. I'm talking in English, of course. She's talking in Spanish, you know, so he's got both ways. But his English was pretty good. But, you know, we're covering all our bases. He was kind of playing like, oh, what do you want me to do? No, I'm sleeping. Yeah, he had his coat on and shoes and everything under this blanket. So finally we just gave him a knock. We said, hey, look, you either can come downstairs and talk to us, all right, or you're going to go to the hospital. That's your choices. Well, you know, he wanted to play his game, so I said, okay, I need you to turn over on your stomach, put your hands behind your back. Now, that's the one thing that shocked me the most about this job is no matter how bad off they are, they seem to always understand that order. I mean, I've had them just, you know, they're talking to the wall, but as soon as you tell them to put your hands behind your back, they comply with you. Well, he somewhat complied with me, but I ended up having he had that psychotic strength about him. And he had his arms locked. They were inside his pants, but they're at his side. And I'm trying to pull his arm out. And I was able to get his right arm out just enough where I could get a cuff around here. I worked his other hand towards the back, and I ended up getting him cuffed. And I took him downstairs. And all was well and good until we hit that door, and then he decided he wanted to fight. okay? Now, I got a problem here, all right? I got a kid who's got that psychotic strength, okay? But he's handcuffed, all right? My rules have just went from is my life really a danger to I just need to get this guy under control, all right? So he did hit the deck once, and I got him up. He did bounce off the house once. I picked him back up. He jumped off the porch himself, okay? But he did bounce off the other house on accident. And then he went down. All right. He did it. That's right. Or at least he did. Yeah. One of the things, any of the girls will tell you, if I know it's going to go haywire, which we can tell it's going to go haywire, I tell them to leave, you know. So, and believe me, after years, almost 23 years, I've learned to cover my ass, but I don't want them near any of what's going on. They're my protection. They're number one. All right. I don't want them getting hurt, so they get out. So I don't have any witnesses. Okay, but so I try to control. Even though Megan's real good for. She disappears, but then she always comes around the corner right when it's all happening. She see me fly out of a couple houses, come around the corner and just see me in the subject flying out of a house. It's funny. So, but anyways, back to this kid. So obviously I had him cuffed. I was worried about him running away, even though he was younger. I'm older. I'm a little less out of shape, or a little more out of shape than I normally was. So. I basically got him down on the ground and I just kneeled on him until I could get back up. Okay. Alicia and I were talking. The mom eventually said to him, "Why did they have to do that to him? Why did they have to, why did they have to treat him like that?" And Alicia very graciously explained to her that said, "Hey, look, you're lucky it was him and it wasn't Hamilton Police Department, because I guarantee, even though that guy was cuffed, they would beat the crap out to get him under control." Me and Annalise and I talked about this, because this was her first experience with that. She's seen me in action like that. I want to make sure she was all right with it, and she understood everything that was happening. When I told her, I said, "Look," I said, "especially when I can't get, we're trained when somebody won't give us their hands like he wouldn't, that literally there's a lot of maneuvers that I could have used that could have hurt him real bad. Until I could have used knee strikes, I could have used pressure point punches. I could use basically anything I want to make sure I got those hands out. Okay, but I didn't. And when he got out of control like he did, it was me and him wrestling around. Even though he was cuffed, he was still a handful. I felt, you know what, I'm not even going to take the risk, because years ago, 2007, I was involved. It wasn't my arrest, but I happened to show up on the scene of a in-custody death. We had an in-custody death of a subject in New Miami. It turned out he had a heart problem, but when the deputies, when we went to arrest him, when we got there, the two deputies were wrestling with him. Me and another deputy assisted. We got him cuffed, and then we ended up seeing he wasn't breathing. We got him uncuffed, brought him back twice, but he ended up dying. Okay, so you can imagine a big lawsuit and stuff. So I know we're in custody. I know I've been down that route before, and I'm not going down that route again. So you try to take any precaution you can. I want to ensure their safety. Okay, I want to ensure their safety, but I am going to protect my life, and I am going to protect the girls' lives, or any of your lives who I may be around. Now, let's take that the other way. If you get the next slide up. Click again. Your objective is to stay alive. Okay? Your objective is a lot different than my objective, all right? If you were put in the situations I was put in, like, let's roll reversal here. That was at Alicia. She was involved in that. That kid attacked her or something and started fighting her and stuff. You think she's going to worry about, okay, I got to get this kid under control without hurting him? No. She's going to, your mindset is going to be, I got to stay alive. All right? I got to stay alive. What can I do to stay alive? You know the answer. Anybody know the answer to that? What can I do to stay alive?
Anything.
Yeah, all that. Anything that you can do to stay alive. All right? Run. Use objects that are readily at hand. Okay? Think like a ninja. Using stuff that's right there at their disposal. Okay? That's what you need to do. So let's put it in different settings here. Let's say for Health Now people. All right? You're at a house. Okay? You're at that house and you're seeing one of your clients. All right? They start getting aggressive. All right? Your first option would be what? Leave, right? That would be your first option. All right? Well, let's say you put yourself in a situation where you worked your way back to a bedroom. For some reason, they wouldn't come out of bed. You went back to a bedroom. All right? First of all, bad maneuver, right? Don't box yourself in. Rule number one, don't box yourself in. All right? But, hey, you've got to know this person. It just happens. All right? You put yourself in that situation. What do you want to do? All right? They start getting aggressive. Well, say you can't leave. They block the door. Bad deal, right? Bad deal. What's your next option? Voice command. Voice command, you'd be surprised. And that goes back to what I was saying. No matter how psychotic the person is, it seems like, they will listen to you to a point for the most part. But like I said, I've had them talk in the walls before, and I order them to get on the ground and put their hands behind their back. And whoa, I shocked myself. Whoa. I had a guy once, I think it was Jocelyn and I, this guy, big boy. He was packing to go in the Navy. I don't know whose Navy he was going into, but he was packing to go to the Navy. He didn't want to come with us. He didn't go to the hospital. He didn't want to come with us. I had the taser out on him, pointed at him, didn't phase him. Didn't phase him. I didn't shoot him, but it didn't phase him. Usually you pull that taser out and you get that laser pointed on somebody. That's enough to put somebody in submission. He wouldn't have it. But you know what? I told him, I ordered him. I said, all right, turn around, put your hands behind your back. Guess what? He did. He did. So voice command, all right? Voice command. Tell them, hey, I'm here to help you settle down, okay? I need you to sit down on the bed or sit down in the chair and calm down, all right? Start there. That doesn't work. What's next? Well, try to leave again. You can't leave. All of a sudden, they become aggressive toward you. Okay? There's certain things you can do. We'll start with non-aggressive movements. Okay? Non-aggressive movements. Here. Be my guinea pig. All right? You're. You got a thing out there. Must be a beard. This is not Duck Dynasty, okay? It's something up to it, all right? So toss the climb, all right? I tried to leave, couldn't leave. I tried to order him to sit down. He doesn't listen to me. He was aggressive. He's got that clenching that fist, okay? I'm looking for indicators that going to go down. He may be clenching the fist, right? He's got that 1,000-mile stare. He's staring through you. That's a spooky stare. Okay? He may be pulling his pants up, getting ready. All right? Just little indicators like that. All right? All of a sudden, he takes a step towards me. All right? One of the main things that one of the main moves that you can do, all right, is a distraction move. okay? But anything that leads into any control move or any strike that we do, it is led by a distraction move. But so by the simple like that, all right? Or if it's a guy, like that, all right? Something like that. All right, just that simple thing, just something for them to throw them off, may be enough for you to get your next move in. Whether it be, getting by them, okay, redirecting them, all right? Or, if it comes down to it, a simple strike, all right? Is there a simple strike? If Todd comes towards me, okay, I can use a simple stunning strike, right, like this. All right, I'm shooting for that it's right between the shoulder, okay, the shoulder and the pec muscle. All right, that simple strike like that. I can use one hand, I can use two hands. All right, that's a stunning strike we use. If he is really aggressive and coming towards me, all right, if I step, strike like that. All right, now. You guys are social workers, okay? And I know you're not programmed to be aggressive, okay? And I understand it.
We're not allowed to be aggressive. We're not allowed to be aggressive.
Right. Like I said, you're not programmed, and the bosses won't let you be aggressive. But, so, I think your best option probably is try redirection, okay? Redirection. Your first option is Todd's going to come towards me, all right? I can redirect them like that, all right? Or just a simple sidestep, okay? If he's coming, sidestep, just help him on past, okay? Hope to God it never happens, but there may be a time that's not going to work, all right? And you're going to have to go for that option, all right? Or you're going to go for those strikes, those non-violent, we'll call them, non-violent strikes, all right? Hey, you got to do what you got to do to stay alive, Pick up that radio or pick up that ashtray that's sitting right there. Do what you need to do, Stay alive. Stay alive, yeah. Do that. I guess that could work. Nobody likes to be thrown up on, right? Nobody likes to be thrown up. Hey, what? Yeah, team.
My height and someone like you.
Actually, the shorter person's at more of an advantage, right? Shorter person, more advantage. A bigger person, like myself, has a lot of momentum to them, okay? A lot of momentum to them. Unless you're trained and you know how to use your momentum, which I guarantee you a lot of these people aren't trained, all right? Use your momentum again. That's what I said, the redirection, okay? The redirection. But, like I said, of course, we're not going to put ourselves in that situation, right? Okay? But if so happens, we find ourselves boxed in or something, and they get that aggressive move, redirection is probably your best bet. Use their momentum. They're coming straight at you, okay? We have a move, giving away all my secrets here, so we're very non-attacking, right? It's called a tactical L, okay? Tactical L, and this was based on a training they did for if you got an attacker with a knife coming at you. It used to be, it's called the 21-foot rule. What's that? You want me to? No, you don't have to do that. I'll just show you. You'll kill me, Mike. Anyways, a tactical L is based on if you had an attacker coming at you with a knife. 21 foot was the minimum distance that attacker could be from you before they started running at you, that you were able to get your gun out and use it. Okay? But with them simply running at you wasn't enough to be able to give you time to get that gun out and use it against them. Right? What you need to do is develop what's called the tactical L. That's if that aggressor's coming back to you, it's basically all you're doing is making an L. It's 1 step, 2 step, and then to the side. And that's if they're coming at you, Tyler, rush at me. And we'll do this, the redirection, all right? If he's coming at me, now 1, 2, side, okay? Because he's going to be focused, all right? He's going to be focused. He's going to be coming at you, straight at you. So you 1, 2, and to the side, okay, that might be enough. That's enough to get him to where he may have to redirect himself, but by that time, you can just push him on by. Okay? So that's probably your best option right there. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yeah.
Signaling for help.
Signaling for help? Yep, that's a good one. Throw up the old bat signal. All right, yeah, Tori.
What if it's a kid?
What if it's a kid? That's a good question. Well, let's see. For me, I just, it's a little easier for me to control the kids. Because I don't put up with their crap, and they know that. There's always dancing in the cruiser. I found that to be very effective. Good music, party with them. Right, May? Yeah, Charlie XCX. Yeah. So, but as a social worker and dealing with the kids you deal with, I think, I don't know.
It's like a toddler, so like a 7.
Yeah, right. That's tough. I mean, especially, it's, I don't know, tell me, Tori, how it is separating yourself from being a parent and dealing with these kids. Because...
You have a parent that generally, now you got 3 people here. Or the parent, or your parent, or you get a lot of crazy, I don't know, a lot of hitting and fighting and you're kind of...
Yeah.
So if we're not trying to say, like, the 5-year-old's not going to grow, or like, let's say, we're in Butler County, so like, if they're like, okay, if I had like a 13-year-old hormonal girl who's just losing her mind, happened yesterday in the progress,
Roaming around.
yeah, or if so she came at me, we can't hit them. Like in my last one, we did like a block and something, but that's not going to be much. So,
Well, I would say, treat them the same way as what I just said. I mean, if that's going to be the case, I'm very, and the girls will tell you this, I'm pretty tolerant of kids for the most part. But we had that little girl, she's 7 years old the other day, Megan and I had, and we went over to Cambridge School, and I think that's the first time ever I looked at, I was like about ready to say, will somebody swat this kid? It's just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Now I ended up getting, she went to the hospital, no problem, and we were like making a joke about singing and dancing. We were in the cruiser, we were partying it up, but it's something. So that's why I was asking Tori. I said, separate yourself from being a parent and being a social worker dealing with these kids. How do you do it? The parent of me is coming out saying, this kid needs her butt swatted big time. All right? Right. But that's not going to happen in our line of work. So, but if you're put in that situation where a kid is threatening you, okay, you got a 7-year-old kid. She was too. She threatened to hit me. She goes, I'll hit you in the privates. She goes, I'll hit you in the privates. And she did this a couple of times. She swung at me a couple of times. But you know what it would do? I just redirected her. She was only this big. I'm like, man, that's pretty gutsy there. So, but if I had I've dealt with teens and stuff, and you just got to treat them the same. But being authoritative, and this goes back to your first option, probably be to use verbal direction. All right, verbal direction. And you know what? I mean, an adult, even though they're a teen, you're going to have the ones that don't give a crap. Those are the ones that used to piss me off when I worked the road all the time. It's the ones like, do you want to go to JDC? I don't care. So, yeah, but verbal direction, being an authoritative voice, okay, being an authoritative voice is probably 85–90% effective, I would say.
So you're saying, in PCHS, if we're at a potential risk of attack, hit the button.
That's what it says, this before or after you hit the button.
You feel like you're gonna be attacked, you hit the button.
Right.
Waiting on help. But what if in the meantime,
Well, then use those steps. Start with voice commands, okay?
because then fight or flight is time.
But use think psychologically too, okay? You got this person, they're sitting there, and she's starting to get that anger and that aggressiveness and stuff like that. By me standing up over her and giving her voice directions, I've already put her in a powerless situation, right? So that I would start there. That time you may have bided enough time, and I've been on enough of those alarms in there where by the time I get out of my desk and around and back to you guys, there's already 5–6 people there. So I think at work, I think we're pretty good, but that's where I would start. Use the voice directions and use your authority. Use your authority as the lead. You're leading them.
No, I'm saying, okay, yeah, but are we staying alive?
Are they becoming aggressive towards you? Or they're not just verbal, it's physical aggressive. Oh, well. Right. Well, yeah, we probably need to go into, my workplace safety presentation. That's where that kind of falls into, and it is all how you have your office. It starts with how you have your office aligned. Okay. Anybody that's worked with me will tell you that after that presentation, they rethought their configuration of their office. Okay. Remember, I said the worst case scenario, you box yourself in. You do not want to box yourself in. Is your office set up to where if that person became aggressive to you, you can get right to your outlet. Can you get to your door? You walk in your door, is your desk right there and they're sitting there? That's a good scenario right there. Because all you have to do is turn and go out. But if you're boxed in that corner and your door's over here, and they're sitting here, they're between you and that door, that's a bad situation. So it all starts with your configuration of your office. But yeah, if that's the case, if they're getting aggressive towards you physically like that, yeah, get the heck out. Get out, yeah. Don't even bother with that. And probably it's going to happen so quick, and you know this, okay? You know if they're going to get aggressive, that's going to happen so quick that you're not going to have time to hit that button. Okay, you're probably not. So get the heck out, scream for help. All right, that's probably one of the best scenarios there. Those offices, it's quiet enough in that hallway, and those officers are so close together that if you somebody hollering, somebody's going to come running. Yeah.
Guys, gotta remember, the reason of this training is to non-violent, and again, we cannot touch our clients, we cannot restrain or salute. That's the reason with this training, is giving you techniques to get out. Not to hold the client, not to protect the client. At that point, it's about protecting you. And that's what we really need to work on. So as much as I'm only giving them an hour to do safety, because that's not so much your words, whatever. But, this is the training that we have not given you. And so that's why we wanted to give it to you. This is all the techniques for you to, if you have to, I don't want to say torture the client, but bide yourself time with each maneuver. That's what we need you to do. Because you can't touch a client and you can't restrain a client. It's for you to get out of where you are. That's what this is about. So don't do basketball games. But even if you're trained in it, don't go basketball.
I was just gonna say, Cassandra, in that case, with community-based, is that still also in place? Since they still are our client, but we don't have anyone around us to hit the panic button.
Well, you have to remember, and again, there's another reason why we have this training.
Right.
I would say now, about 70% of our staff is community-based, which is why we're giving you this training. You have to remember, your space is where you are when you provide the service. It's knowing, especially on our first time going into your community, you don't know where the outlets are. You're going to their home. They know where their outlets are. You don't. You don't know about the indoor. You don't know about this crazy dog, especially the little swallowed ones. There's a technical dog around. Okay? So know your surroundings. When you're going into a room, like you said, don't have a section in the bedroom. Have it in the You know, I've had some clinicians tell me they didn't care about that. So they sit right by the door, so they know at the end, they don't have there. So to the dog, to the small toddlers, whatever it is. So again, even if you're in the community, your main focus is to get out of the environment you're in, so you can then get your car, call 911, call the crisis, whatever you need. Okay? Sorry, guys.
Oh, no, you're all right. You're all right.
If you're ever in a situation, you can defend yourself.
You can defend yourself, you cannot be the aggressor. Right. But you can defend, yes.
And we don't restrain kids.
Yeah, I'm not restraining the child, again, it's pushing a lot of things away. I've gotten whacked on the vacuum cleaner, I actually injured my arm trying to protect my laptop because it was $250 fine if I broke it. But you know, it's that type of stuff, I got whacked a couple of times, and I grabbed the vacuum attachment and pulled it, and he let go, and I threw it behind me. And then it was just catch and dive, like catch, throw back, catch, throw back. And then finally wore him out because I'm like, here, let me throw some more things at you. And then I started giving things for him because then it was wearing him down. So again, a lot of it is this technique, the jump and dive. That's pretty much what have to do with every client.
I feel like Tori, you're in the office, she's a wild child, get her, because she told me, I had to put one time, like, throwing things and barricading stuff under her desk, but she totally handles it really well. But the community is much more difficult.
Any other questions? Did we try to pull those videos up again? Or it's still not working? I downloaded them on there. They should have been, they were working. I watched them before.
There's not internet.
It's not internet, it's put in, I watched YouTube. So maybe it didn't go on my thumb drive, I don't know. All right, anyway, any other questions? Anything else I can help you with? Feel free to stop by my cubicle anytime you want. Ask me a question. You have to, one of the funniest things is when I used to have my cubicles and stuff, I always used to hear the girls, like, what the heck's what they come around in? Because I'd be watching like movies like Black Hawk Down or something, and all the gunfire and stuff. So they'd say, oh my God, we thought there was a war over here. So I finally got these earbuds that I can plug in, and they're earbuds, but they're like noise reduction earbuds. So if you come by and he's like, Greg, and I don't hear you, it's because I can't hear you. So tap me on the shoulder, okay? So you can't win for losing, yeah.
If you're doing it, you recommend doing it. Because usually being upfront with them, instead of all online, is the right way to do it. Do you recommend?
With the kids or with the parents? Well, yeah, first of all, I don't know what they teach you guys when you go to these houses, but if I was you, first of all, yeah, you just confront and say, look, that needs to be put away or needs to be removed from the house, whatever. I'm not coming in until that's done, because you don't want to put yourself in that situation. With my luck, if I was you, I'd go in there and I'd sit down, there'd be all these drugs on the table, and next thing you know, the police are busting in the door, and guess what? You're going to jail too, so get it put away. Yeah. I've never done it. Any weapons, of course you don't want any weapons around, So if you walk in and see a gun laying on the table, or a big knife, what have you, tell them to put it away. That's probably your best. Yeah, confront them straight out. Because you know what? Your life's more important than your job. So you're going to say, hey, look, I'm not putting myself in that situation. I'll come back later when you decide you want to cooperate. You know? Yeah.
What's the protocol in your car?
If they're in your car and they got weapons or drugs,
Or like, you know, they start to be aggressive. Like, I was like, they got aggressive. You pull over and let them out and they just move back.
well, are you talking adult or kid?
Adult.
An adult? Yeah, they're over 18. I'd say you can pull over, get out of the car. If they won't get out, take your keys, you get out. If they're a kid, I'd just, I guess, pull over and, you know, try to control them there. I wouldn't want anybody, and let alone a kid, because they're wiry and small and stuff, get going nuts in my car while I'm trying to drive. So I'd pull over. And if you have to remove yourself, and call the police on your cell phone, come and control them if you feel it. That's it. But kid, you can't kick out, obviously. Anybody under 18, you can't. You know, that'd be neglect. But if they're over 18, tell them to get out. You know what? Isn't there a rule, like, if they're, whatever, violating certain things, you can drop them as clients or something, so, you know, it's not worth putting yourself in that harm and keeping them as a client if they're going to be like that to you. You're there trying to help them, you know. So, yeah.
What if you're in New York where they have learning
Well, how good of a bullshitter are you? I am just your caseworker. I don't know. Yeah. That's tough. You know what? She asked if they get in your car and they got drugs on them and you get pulled over. Okay. Would you be in trouble if they had drugs found on them? If I pulled you over and I had some reason led to me to believe there's drugs in there, and I got them out and searched them and found them on it, would you be in trouble with that? But guess what? These drug people, believe it or not, are not dumb. And what they'll do is they'll drop it in your car. They'll stuff it under your seat, or throw it behind your seat, even better. Okay? And then guess who gets in trouble? You, because it's your car, right? So if you know that people are potentially drug abusers or whatever, which are probably a good majority of them, I'd say straight out, before you get in my car, you got any drugs? Okay? If you do, you need to get rid of them. Do something. I do not want them in my car. You know, like I said, you're there to help them. If they can't abide by your rules, then, you know, productivity is not that important, right? Ask me. I got productivity, and I don't do any of it, right, Cassandra?
That's why you're doing this training, Greg.
She got me. She always gets me. I mean, is that pretty reasonable? Is that a reasonable answer? Okay, good. Anybody else? Well, I'm sorry my videos didn't work. They were pretty funny, you know. The other one was, you know how they make those computer videos? Shows people talking, and it tells a computer, it's all computer generated. And it's people talking and the lady's talking. So you know, I was talking to this girl saying, so you want to be a social worker? And she said, yeah. And she goes, what qualifies you as a social worker? She goes, well, I help my friends with their problems all the time. I gave my friend advice about her boyfriend the other day and stuff. And then talks about how your professors in college are, you know, try to teach you, even though they've only been spent 2 days as a therapist, you know, and stuff. How you guys make so much money. Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. Well, thank you for letting me talk. Oh, I'm sorry. Good. Go ahead. True. Don't get blocked in. Don't put, that's the thing, you know, and I teach that in the office safety. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're boxed in. All right, that's where it all starts. Don't put yourself in that situation, you won't have to worry about it. Don't box yourself in. All right, thank you.
He just met his productivity requirement for the year. So what we're going to do now is, this is our breakout session to where if you are a licensed clinician, you're going to be in a different room. If you're a non-licensed clinician, you're going to be in here. We're going to do very similar things. It's about suicide prevention, warning signs, de-escalation, stuff like that. But it's more specific to your position. So if you could go straight to those rooms. So the non-clinicians or non-licensed, you're going to be in this room. If you're licensed, you're going to go down the hall on the right and then turn the corner.